What do these traffic signs indicate? A. No overtaking for 3 kilometers. B. Start of a no overtaking area 3 kilometers ahead. C. Roadway with 2 lanes in one direction for 3 kilometers. The correct answer is A. No overtaking for 3 kilometers. Take a look over here. We see a red circle with additional sign. This red circle tells us no overtaking is allowed. However, the additional sign is telling us that this prohibition on overtaking has already started. This is communicated by these 2 arrows. If we don't have these 2 arrows, the answer would have been B. But because of these 2 arrows, we now know we are in the middle of no overtaking area. What do these traffic signs indicate? A. End of a no overtaking area 200 meters ahead. B. Start of a no overtaking area 200 meters ahead. C. No overtaking for 200 meters. The correct answer is B. Start of a no overtaking area 200 meters ahead. Okay, take a look. This is opposite of the previous question. Now, we have a no overtaking sign with additional sign and no arrows by the side of it. This is telling us that in the next 200 meters ahead is the start of a no overtaking area. So, this sign here is the opposite of the one we saw in the previous question. Which prohibition ceases to apply when you see this sign? A. Speed restrictions. B. No parking. C. No overtaking. A and C are the correct answers. Typically, we see this sign in Autobahn. When you see this sign, it means you are allowed to speed as much as you want and you could overtake any vehicle in front of you. However, be careful. The recommended speed limit in Autobahn in Germany is 130 km per hour. Although you are allowed to speed as much as you want, but in case of the accident, you are to be blamed if you are speeding for more than 130 km per hour. When must you indicate? A. When you leave the roundabout. B. When you enter the roundabout. C. Before you approach the roundabout. A is the correct answer. You indicate when you leave the roundabout. Take a look. We see a sign that tells us that we are approaching a roundabout. In the roundabout, cars already inside the roundabout has priority. Therefore, we must wait or slow down to allow them priority before we can continue. But you must not indicate, it's not required for you to indicate when you enter a roundabout, but you must indicate or turn on your blinker to leave the roundabout. This is a law in Germany and in other countries as well. You are approaching this combination of traffic signs. What must you remember? A. You must indicate when entering the roundabout. B. Vehicles in the roundabout have priority. C. You must indicate to leave the roundabout. B and C are the correct answers. Vehicles in the roundabout have priority and you must indicate to leave the roundabout. Okay, take a look. In the previous questions, we have already discussed the rules that apply to roundabout. You must indicate to leave the roundabout and vehicles in the roundabout always have priority. Therefore, as you approach a roundabout, you must slow down or come to a complete stop to give priority to vehicles already in the roundabout. And if you want to leave the roundabout, you must indicate. But to enter a roundabout is not required for you to indicate or to turn on your blinker. What do you have to do in this traffic situation? A. Stop at the line of sight and give way. B. Not stop because there is no stop line. C. Stop only if there is crosswise moving traffic. A is the correct answer. Stop at the line of sight and give way. Let's go through the questions together. Stop only if there is a crosswise moving traffic. No, this is wrong. Whenever you see a stop sign, you must stop for a minimum of 3 seconds. B. Not stop because there is no stop line. This is also wrong. It does not matter if there is a stop line or not. Whenever you see a stop sign, you must stop at the line of sight. So, in this question, A is the correct answer. You must stop here for at least 3 seconds. Observe both sides of traffic. If there is no car coming, you are then allowed to join the traffic. What applies in the area 50 meters in front of and behind this traffic sign? A. I may not obstruct passengers boarding or alighting. B. I may not park. C. I may not stop. A and C are the correct answers. I may not obstruct passengers boarding or alighting. I may not stop. This sign tells us we have approached a bus station. As you know, most buses are long. Therefore, it is required that in the area 50 meters in front of and behind a bus station that you must not park, but you are allowed to stop your vehicle for a passenger to alight or to board your vehicle. What do you have to be aware of in this traffic situation? A. I may not cross the lane marking. B. I may cross the lane marking in order to overtake. C. I may cross the lane marking if oncoming traffic permits this. A is the correct answer. I may not cross the lane marking. Take a look. We have unbroken line. So in this situation, overtaking is not allowed. Even if the vehicle in front of you is so slow, you must wait patiently until you could see a broken line, then you can overtake. But at this point, overtaking is not allowed. You want to overtake. What is the right thing to do? A. I may overtake. B. I may not overtake. C. I may only overtake if I remain in the right-hand lane while doing so. A is the correct answer. Okay, let's take a look together. We have two lines. One is unbroken and the second line is broken in our side of the lane. So because of the broken line in our side of the lane, we can overtake. But vehicles on this side of the lane are not allowed to overtake. But be careful, we have a cyclist in front of us. Therefore, we must observe a minimum of at least 2 meters when overtaking a cyclist outside a built-up area. What situation applies according to this traffic sign? A maximum speed limit of 30 km per hour which does not apply to electric vehicles. B. A maximum speed limit of 30 km per hour which applies between 10 p.m. and 6 a.m. C. A maximum speed limit of 30 km per hour which applies between 6 a.m. and 10 p.m. B is the correct answer. A maximum speed limit of 30 km per hour which applies between 10 p.m. and 6 a.m. This is one of the most common signs you will see on the German roads. It tells us that between 10 p.m. and 6 a.m. we can only go as fast as 30 km per hour. Outside of this time, we can go as fast as 50 km per hour. The reason for this restriction is given as noise protection. This is the end of this video. Please like, comment, share and subscribe. Also, click on the notification button so you don't miss any of our upcoming videos. Thank you and keep on coming back for more.